All right. So here's what's going on. I'm actively trying to push through this overwhelmingness that I have. It depends on the day, but this overwhelming feeling is there essentially every day. It's a stressor, constant stress. Also, pushing through my zero energy, which is always there, even with me now getting great sleep. It has to do with the gut brain axis that we fully do not know, that we do not fully know about right now, but I'm working through it with my primary gastrosurgeon, and I have two more gastros to talk with, obviously including psychiatrist too, and the primary, like I think I already said. When this starts to happen to me, so when I wake up, zero energy, but I still feel rested, so not fatigued, but a different form of it. It's like a body. It's like a body thing. The overwhelmingness has to do with things that I have to do or pressures that I have put onto myself for things that I need to do / want to do for myself, including what I'm doing right now by recording and practicing my enunciation and trying to talk like as though it is from my brain or when I'm talking to a friend or whoever. So I'm practicing at the same time right now. But this is a good scenario for me. It was very difficult to start recording this, but now that I'm doing it, I can kind of try to explain how it feels. It feels extremely uncomfortable in my own body, like I want to jump out of my body because of the overwhelmingness feeling with the zero energy, and it shuts my body down. A lot of the time I have executive dysfunction. Executive functioning allows you to like do things in space. For me, sometimes I cannot move my body at all or only certain parts. And it's very specific and hard to explain, makes it very difficult to be able to work or whatever else I feel like I need to do. Same deal, because I'm getting so much good sleep, but with the zero energy and the stomach like pain 100% of the time, I'm assuming, or at least I'm guessing, working with doctors and through my own, knowing my body, knowing myself, paying attention to what I use and eat and things like that. I'm very aware of how my body reacts to certain things. So when this happens, I can get out of it. Usually it takes a little while, but I can get out of it. But then, okay, I have a couple of things that I want to do today, for example. But it's extremely difficult to do those things because the other ideas that I have are disorganized. And then even when I do the items that I want to do for that day, it feels like I completed it. And then when I want to go do more, it once again just happens again. My body reacts to it with shutting down in the form of not being able to work my body, like move my body physically, or the trichotillomania, like I've talked about a little bit, where it's pulling facial hair from me. I don't want to take any medications for that because I already take a few other things. I want to use mindfulness techniques and like fidget items and just paying attention to myself and what works. Carry around a little tiny scissors to snip off a piece, to cut it instead of allowing myself to get the sensation that I need or whatever. So my body shuts down in that sort of way too. It could not move, or instead of thinking about a thing that's difficult to figure out or doing something that is difficult for me to do because of the extreme overwhelmingness, my body will force me to do something very, very specific, like the pulling, or not move. Or I can do some things like I could watch a video on YouTube, or I could read a passage from a book, but then my brain knows. It's so weird because we like pilot our bodies. My brain knows that the time is coming up to work on these things, and it starts to happen again. So today is a great example because I've been up and functioning throughout the day. Certain things were difficult, but have I achieved those few things that I wanted to do? No. Did I do some of the basic stuff? Yes. Feeding the cats, brushing them, doing the litter, hanging out with them, take a shower, trim my head or my facial hair or whatever, brush my teeth, eat if I want to. I usually don't want to eat because of the stomach issues, the gut-brain axis. Got to figure out some gut-brain axis modulation because this gut-brain nonsense is very confusing. Like I said, I'm tracking what I consume and use, talking with the doctors, and both of us doing research and all these different things. All of us, I should say, except multiple specialists. And I'm practicing and trying to remind myself, like how I used to remind myself to put the phone in landscape mode, horizontal instead of vertical. Now I'm reminding myself to enunciate my language, because I know that I kind of have a slight slurred accent and already talk in a monotoned way, so I would rather make it sound more precise when recording. So trying to push through the overwhelmingness or the executive dysfunctioning or the trichotillomania, those types of things in there, it puts even more stress onto my body where it makes me feel worse. So if I know the trichotillomania thing is happening, I do the snip thing, for example, and then it's not a pleasant experience, but then I can move on. It'll probably happen multiple times throughout the day, depending on the day. Then the overwhelmingness can make me feel sick immediately when I know, okay, let's go and do this thing. Or the zero energy thing that's there all the time. That's why it's difficult to push through it, is because of the zero energy. I feel like I'm not describing this very well, but maybe what I should do is I should write down this information rather than just saying it from my mind, because I already know this stuff. So it's difficult to speak it when I'm not talking to somebody, I guess. I'm fairly certain that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's it for now, because whatever.